Hey, all right. So, uh, wholeness. This is whole and complete. All there is what seems to be happening, and it's naturally itself. That's the natural reality, if you want so. This just being itself, and it includes everything that seems to be happening, and it includes everything that's not happening. Of course, that's also whole and complete. Everything that's not happening is also whole and complete. So what we talk about also is that there is no separation from what seems to be happening. There isn't anything outside. There isn't anything that's separate from what seems to be happening. And usually, or well, in the story, one could say this would be the sense of I am. That's what this refers to, kind of. That the sense of I am doesn't exist because its experience is I'm separate. I'm something on my own. I have an own autonomous existence and I'm free. I can do what I want, or actually I'm supposed to be able to do what I want. I have free will, I can choose things, and I need to choose things actually. I need to consciously act. That's basically the personal reality. And I need to act in order to fulfill myself. I have to live the right life, so to speak, in order to become fulfilled me. And within the personal reality, seeking isn't just a hobby. It's deep down reality. It's a deep need. I have to seek. I have to fulfill myself because what happens, including myself, isn't enough. Something is missing, kind of. So what the person is constantly trying to do is to replace the seeking dynamic with something that finds, that arrives, that achieves an experience of rest, so to speak, an experience of when I don't have to seek anymore, when I can just be and enjoy and everything is good and perfect and stuff. So regarding this message, this is an impossibility. It's an impossible mission. The person is on an impossible mission to fulfill itself because itself isn't real. So all those things that the person thinks it will achieve or it has to achieve don't exist. They are just imagined within that dream of being someone in the first place. What's being said here is that there is no unfulfilled me. This whole narrative of fulfillment and unfulfillment, unenlightened, enlightened, unhappy, happy on this deep level, they are all part of the dream. It's a completely artificial narrative. No one needs fulfillment. There is no one. There is no one who's unfulfilled. It's just a dream, an illusion. As this unfulfilled I is an illusion or doesn't have any substance, it's an absolute impossibility to teach that I. It's really impossible to tell you or anyone or to tell the me what to do in order to become fulfilled. It's just part of a dream. That's why all teachings just go on. All teachings, all methods, all practices just go on. They never lead to something. They just are themselves as what they are, futile practicing. That's it. There's no message.
Andreas?
Yes.
Is ambition something from the me, or could it also be something that you could call just life force? I'm not talking about the resonance of I'm a me, I want something, that kind of stuff, but just ambition, things,
Yeah.
doing things, having a drive. Is this all me stuff, or is this something that's more about the character and just things happening?
Well, it depends on what you refer to, because my impression is this energy of ambition, that what the person would regard as ambition and this drive, the life force, so to speak. I would say that's the person actually. This experience of this inner movement, so to speak. I'd say that's part of the dream, because here there's no experience of that. There's no experience of an energy that drives me, an energy that wants me to make things do or happen. But of course, there's just a living body, and that's
doing things.
doing things, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's both or neither. Depends on what your question refers to.
Yeah, something to be seen, probably.
Again?
Well, it when there would be a falling of the me stuff, then it remains to be seen what happens, and what happens, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There just wouldn't be this experience of a life force. In a way, the me and the life force are the same thing.
Okay. So it's even worse than I thought.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's much worse than you thought. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for nothing.
You're welcome. Does apparent cause and effect still happen there? Well, yes, yeah, kind of. I mean, that's the funny thing. They are not being cause and effect, really. It doesn't change anything, because the natural reality is still this. It's just very ordinary that when there's headache or something, you can take medicine, or that when you take medicine, the symptoms go away and stuff like that. All of that would just be an empty appearance, if you want so, or all of that would just be emptily appearing. That's all. But it's not that there is a real cause and effect, simply because there is no real happening with separate happenings and time and all of that. But that doesn't mean that suddenly things become possible. Like, I don't know, walking through walls or something, except it would be what seems to be happening. But the surprise is that it's like this, without this being real. So in that sense, cause and effect happens. Absolutely, of course. There is no outside of this. Can't be sorted out anyway, really. I mean, this question, what the me really is, will remain unanswered. There's no answer to this question.
Don't you think like science will find an answer to?
Well, they make up something that can be repeated by other means. But I'm pretty sure it won't answer anything. Something, again, you have to believe in, or you can repeat the concept of it,
but it's never the answer to anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Same as in spirituality, when you find out again and again that there is no me, and then carry around that knowledge. Maybe they'll come to the exact same conclusion, that there is no me, but they have to somehow tell it to themselves as if it could be known. Or they come up with something more fancy.
Do you think that there could be another language developed with this realization? Like our language is based on subject, object, or duality, but yeah, no.
Well, it's not needed. I mean, the language we have is perfect. I mean, it's all right. It does its job, I think. It doesn't, there's no need to speak the truth or something, because there isn't such a thing anyway. So our language is absolutely appropriate for what it's supposed to do, to pass on empty and useless information.
Hi, Andreas.
Hi, hello.
You said that cause and effect doesn't happen there. And that's because, if I understand it right, it's because there's nothing happening. It's not because cause and effect is some wacky theory, or it's just because there's nothing happening.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not something that can be understood, or it's not a part in a real world that can be taken out. It's not that there's a real happening, but without cause and effect. That doesn't make sense. That's why it's often so weird for the person.
Right. It seems like that's something that's often pointed to with this message, that there's no cause and effect. But really, I think it's a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say deceiving, but it's a little bit, it puts a focus on cause and effect, not being real, but in reality, it's just that there's nothing happening. I think, wouldn't that be a more accurate?
Absolutely. I know what you mean. It's actually quite useless and futile to talk about this kind of as an aspect or something, and the person then tries to see or understand this special aspect, that there is no cause and effect, and it gets totally lost. And
Right.
of course.
Yeah, because then you end up thinking about cause and effect, nothing about cause and effect. Then that becomes your only focus, is cause and effect, and that why is it?
Understand it. That's true. Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, on the other hand, of course, all the person seeking is based on the assumption that that itself is the cause for fulfillment.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not really this cause and effect in the world, like if you water a plant, it'll grow or something. But this whole impression of doership is based on cause and effect.
Okay, that's why it's sort of an important pillar of this message, is that the person is so, that's their whole reality is cause and effect.
Exactly. It wants to make something happen. And of course, it also tries to use the appearance. So to say, when I take medicine and the pain goes away, I caused to create a better state because I took the medicine. But of course, that's in the personal world, this all gets mixed up. And it doesn't, when I say there is no cause and effect, it doesn't actually take this to itself. It always stays in this, well, but when I take a pill, the symptoms go away. And it's always a bit like, yeah, okay, big deal. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. I get it.
Good explanation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. And this cause and effect dynamic would be purely dreamt. I'm here and I can make things happen, and I can make my fulfillment happen by making other things happen. Would you say that this message in words didn't need to be processed, couldn't be processed? Yes, I'd say so, yes. Yeah, the processing of it, or Well, the person doesn't process this message. That's maybe, I don't know if that's what you meant, but that's what the person thinks, that I have to let it sink in, or that I have to let it become my reality, or that the processing of this message has something to do with me. In the end, this message processes you, or the natural reality, or what seems to be happening just eats you up. Apparently, of course, but me doesn't play a role in that. And the process that the me assumes itself to be in, which is called life, and my path towards fulfillment, that's purely dreamt. So this idea that some people have after a meeting, okay, I have to let this sink in, that's purely dreamt. Nothing will sink in or something. It has nothing to do with the person. And it really, you can just get up from the screen and forget about this meeting or what's being said at all, completely. There's no need to process any of this. And impossibility, actually. It's an impossibility. It's not happening. It seems like we developed an attachment to it. What do you mean? Or maybe you can speak for yourself only. What do you mean? With seeking in this message, or somehow being busy with this message, thinking about the concepts and stuff like that. That's possible. Some seekers try to keep this message up, kind of, or to be working on this message, thinking about it, talking to others about it. As a method, as if this would be a method in itself to somehow, I mean, you can see that in a lot of non-dual groups and so-called non-dual speakers who share this message in order to create an energy of excitement or something, as if the mere talking about it somehow brings you closer to it, or brings you closer to what seems to be happening. Like an addiction to this message, although we know it's not useful in any way. Yeah, as I said, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That just can be a huge pull to these meetings, and coming from this seeking drive. But then there can also be what I just shared. I think some people turned it already into a method to talk about non-duality, to almost like to keep up the remembrance by talking about it, and get high on the idea that there is no one, and how gorgeous it is to be not anyone, and how great it is that everything is whole and complete. But it has to be great that everything is whole and complete. It's not that everything just can be whole and complete. No, it's gorgeous and amazing and great and stuff like that. So this can also happen until it gets boring.
And wouldn't you say that there are benefits to the person to chew on these concepts? Because then, like, a lot of problems that they think they have are just not problems anymore.
Oh no, they are just covered up as long as the person is telling itself those concepts. There's no use for the person. This message is as helpful for the person as any other concept is. It's crutches. That's just what it is. Those concepts don't go deeper. Then you can also believe in God or whatever you like. It just seems to work as long as it seems to work. And the problems never get solved. They're only seem to become lighter. But as I said, any concept or anything that the person believes in has the capability to do so, to give the impression of a help. It doesn't matter if you believe that, oh, there is no one who's guilty, or if you believe, oh, God has forgiven me. It's, for me, that's just the same thing. So I don't see any help from those concepts for the person. But of course, that's what it looks for. So of course, it constantly looks which concept might resolve some pain, but it doesn't work. Can't resolve the person from the pain of its own illusory world, like guilt and pride and that stuff. Like any other concept, it would just need to tell itself the same sentence again and again. And it doesn't matter if it's those non-dual concepts or any other concept. That's it. So it's all perfect. It's this. This is the perfect natural reality for no one. No one has left it. No one has left it. No one has to regain it. It's just this. This is all there is. Thank you very much for joining. I wish you a lovely day and a lovely time. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andreas.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Andreas.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.